I've known Pastor for the past 2 years, since 2015.
About 5 years. I've known Pastor since 2012.
Over 4 years.
For 7 years. 7 years.
I knew him probably about 4 years.
I've known Pastor for about 5-6 years.
Well, it's kind of complicated because he's like my family member. So I've known him, he's known me all my life, but I've known him about a few years now.
I've known Pastor for about 6 to 7 years.
Known Pastor for the same amount of time, about 10 years.
Probably about 25 years, if not more.
About a year.
Say about the time that I joined the church, so like 2012 or 2014, so 3 to 5 years ago.
38 years. So just a little while.
I have known Pastor for the same amount of years I attended this church.
Since Pastor is my husband, I've known him, we've been married for 34 years. So I've known him all my 34 years we've been together.
For about 6 years, 5-6 years.
A little over 6 years.
Again, as long as I can remember. I've also worked for him way back many moons ago on Main Street in Middletown. It was a good 7 months, but you know, he's all around great guy, all around.
A memory is probably when he first let me start playing drums, when the old drummer had left, and ever since then I've been playing and I liked it. So that's really deep to me because I like playing drums.
He's caring. Like, for example, we do the car wash and he's always there, like, cheering us on.
The memory when I was getting ready to receive my license, I was a little nervous, and you know, he was just helping me not to become nervous, but he was also very encouraging, and I'll never forget that day.
How I was battling with my own self in regards to the new life that I was introduced to. I was just battling with myself whether I wanted to stay in the life that I was living or choosing to come to the life that I was blessed with.
The first time he called me son, I guess as his son in the gospel, that kind of stuck out with me. So.
Well, the first one is when I first met him, he didn't take out his trusty baseball bat or stick or whatever he had to threaten people. So he didn't bring that out. So that was one way.
Church-wise, just him being a constant encourager to me. Through whatever it is, he's always encouraged me and made me feel as if I am not only his spiritual daughter, but his actual daughter.
The other way is he truly taught me what it meant to be a man and the man of the house. He showed me, you know, I've never owned a house before, and he showed me how to take care of certain things around my house. He's given me all kinds of wisdom and nuggets and just lots of knowledge, things like that.
I was going through a rough patch this particular time, and he discouraged me against the move that I was going to make. You know, basically just kind of telling me, you know, why go through the same thing that I had already been through, you know, and just kind of just poured into me and just helped me to believe in myself.
I love the fact that Pastor is not just a pastor. He guides us, and he actually thinks of us as his daughters and his sons. And it's more of a personal and more family orientated. And he just pours into your being.
Yeah, because I used to come to the church to get counseling through him, and he also told me that I can do anything, you know, to take my gift and that God gave me and do something with it. And he encouraged me to be a better person and to keep coming back, to not give up on myself.
As I was getting ready to go into the ministry, one of the things that was very important to me was I
I still wanted to be who I am, you know, and I was like, well, Pastor, I don't want to wear a skirt all the way down to my ankles. I don't want to have to wear a turtleneck all the way up to, because that's not who I am, you know. And Pastor being Pastor, he looked at me and he said, nope, I need you to be who God created you to be, because your ministry is for the people. You're going to draw in people that can relate to you. So if you try to be somebody else, then you can't do what God has called you to do.
You know, I'll say, as far as pastor, I think what's important, we oftentimes look at a pastor as someone who's flawless, possibly, someone who is perfect in all ways. But I'll tell you, I think that the most important thing to me is that he's okay with being vulnerable, you know? And I think that when you have a family, it's important that, you know, you show that you're human just like everyone else. So I was able to learn things about him that typically I wouldn't have access to if he wasn't as open and willing to share.
I was going through a really tough time in my marriage, and it was like he took off his pastor hat, but he still had a nurturing father hat, and he walked with me every step of the way with that. I just seen a different side of him, you know, the human side, and it just made me respect him to a whole nother level, you know. He's a good man.
I would have to say, like, giving me advice on certain things he's helped me with, and just praying over me.
Yeah, Pastor, I will also say I thank Pastor because he's been like a father to me. So like my God, like a godfather, he encouraged me in so many ways. Like, you know, try to teach me like how to do things right. You know, sometimes it's difficult, but he taught me how to be like humble. You know, do things. You know, it's sometimes, you know, he let me know things is not gonna be like, things are not gonna be the same. Sometimes it's gonna be like up, you know, the up and downs. But you know, I thank him for everything he made me today.
He always be there for me all the time. Like, he'll help me with my driving and try to get my license and finding a job. So he's very supportive and a good man.
Well, the impact Pastor has on me is he's truly a man of God, total honesty. First Lady has a profound silence about her. She's very, very humble, always smiling.
It's just watching him be a pastor, how he shows his love to the members, how he cares for them. It's like he would do so much for them. Sometimes I, you know, just look at him, like, it's like he's doing too much sometimes, but he really gives his all because he really truly loves them, and how God blesses him, or how he takes care of his family, and he calls them, this is his family, this is what God has given him to look over his children. And I am blessed just being with him to do that and to help the family.
Just how he carries himself, how he cares for the community. That's a big thing, you know. Everybody can talk the talk, and everybody knows that. It's how you actually walk the walk that makes the difference, and that to me is a big plus.
Well, more than one word, he's caring, generous, God-loving, and motivated.
Strong, because they're like, say things are going bad, they try to find a positive out of everything to lift people up in the church, and it brings a positive impact on the whole church and stuff.
Caring. Both of them are caring. They never give up.
Humble. I would say committed.
God-fearing, that's 2 words. God-fearing.
Encouraging.
Honest.
Nurturers.
Inspiring.
My parents.
Faithful.
Faithful. Faithful.
He is faithful and committed. I would describe him, I would say he's a father, and very loving. I couldn't say one word. There's just so much about him, but he's loving.
First Lady is nurturing, and the pastor is greatness.
Humbleness, honesty. For First Lady, it would be great character.
First Lady, nurturing. You know, she's First Lady. You know, she's a mother. She's all of the above. And pastor, I would say dedicated.
One word for 38 years. One word. Inspirational.
There's so many words I can think of, but I'm trying to think of the right words. So I'll have to say lovable. He's a lovable person, man. And his personality, I love his personality. I love his sense of humor. You know, he knows when to be serious and he knows when to joke. You know, he's just an approachable person.
Well, one message for Pastor is thank you for giving me the advice and keeping me motivated and just being by my side.
Pastor, I don't only want to thank you, but I just want to thank God as well for coming to you to come to me. And I also want to thank you for letting me know that God gave me this life because he knew I was strong enough to live it. Keep pressing, and God may God continue to bless you.
Pastor, I just want to thank you for everything you've done for all of us, not just for me. And I thank you that you are a part of my life as well as everyone's life, and how encouraging you are to everyone.
Pastor, grandfather, you are the best supportive and caring person I ever met. Thank you for everything you've done, and keep up the good work. Thanks.
Pastor, thank you for being there for me, for encouraging me and believing in me when I didn't believe in myself, and helping me through the tough times by letting me know that there is somebody that cares about me, and that's God. And I just appreciate everything that you're doing for me still to this day. And I love you, Pastor. Happy anniversary.
Love you both very, very much.
I love y'all.
I love you both.
I love them both, and they're great people.
I love you both, and keep doing what you're doing.
Love you, Pastor.
Thanks, and go Eagles.
Hi, Pastor. I think you are remarkable. I thank God truly for you and for your wife, for First Lady Watson. I thank God that he has chose you to be the shepherd over this flock. I couldn't ask for a better pastor. I ask that God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do. Everything that your hands touch, let everything prosper, and everywhere that your feet touch, let it be on fertile ground. I love you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
I just tell him that I love him very much, and to continue, and I pray that I continue to be by your side and to help do God's work.
Pastor, I know you have this desire and this hunger for, I know it's healing, spiritual things, and I pray that God just fulfill that. It's not a void, but there's a hunger and a passion to pray for the sick and see the sick healed, and I pray that God feel that hunger and it begin to manifest in your life.
I would love for Pastor to know that we love him and continue to remain encouraged, because nothing, absolutely nothing that he is doing is in vain.
So to give a message to Pastor, I would say this, is that everything that you work towards and everything that you've been working for, God continues to pour out this divine favor over you. You know, you don't want to accept the fact, but people hear your name and it's just like, oh, Donald Watson. You know, you have this gift that people are drawn to you because of, and I really think that has a lot to do with the fact that you are so open, the fact that, you know, you are so relatable. And those are qualities to be happy about, to be thankful for. So don't shrug off who you are and base it off of numbers or buildings or anything like that. Know that God has called you and placed you for such a time as this, and that you're an awesome man of God and my daddy.